Now the next is, Om is said to also represent the Trigunas, right? But it is also Triguna theetha. It is beyond Trikala theetha and Triguna theetha. How do they relate? Now, gunas are not three states of consciousness. There is a mix-up here. Gunas are the attributes of Prakriti, of nature. And since mind is also part of Prakriti, it shows the mind's nature also. And the Trigunas are, actually Trigunas are not Vedanta, they are borrowed from Sankhya. The great Sankhya karika of Kapila is the one that gives a complete understanding of the gunas. And Sankhya is so important that the second chapter in the Gita is Sankhya Yoga. And when Krishna says, among the munis I am what? I am Kapila. Kapila is the founder of Sankhya, and in Sankhya there is no Ishvara. Sankhya is Purusha and Prakriti. There is no concept of, at least they are silent on the concept of Ishvara. They are only Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha meaning spirit, consciousness, and Prakriti meaning inert matter. This is Sankhya. It's an ancient philosophy among the darsanas, Shat darsanas. So, gunas actually means, these what are described here are not gunas, these are the states of consciousness. Gunas actually mean Sattva, Rajas and Tamo gunas. That means the attributes possessed by matter and therefore also of the mind, because mind is matter according to Sankhya. They say the subtlest part of the food that you eat goes to form the mind. So probably they think mind is brain, I don't know. Anyway, so, because if you don't eat, you can't think. So, gunas are Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Now, Sattva means goodness, tranquility, peace, expansive consciousness, not always thinking about yourself only. Sattva. And Rajas is activity, movement. It can be good activity or it can be bad activity. Rajas means action, activity. And Tamogun means lethargy, darkness, laziness. So there are some people who can't sleep peacefully until they cause some injury to somebody in a day. This guna is called Tamogun. आज नींद नहीं आ रहा है, किसी को गाली नहीं दिया. I heard actually somebody. This is Tamogun. So, between Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Now what happens is, every one of us has both all these three gunas in some proportion or the other. Some it may be less, some it may be more. It's there in all living beings, in Prakriti, everywhere. Now, the only way to raise yourself up from the Tamoguna to Sattva is through Rajas, through activity, which is why it is always kept in the middle. Through Rajas, through activity, you can you can shift from Tamogun to Sattva-guna, good activity. Meditation is also activity, study is activity, Swadhyaya is activity, leading a good life is activity, trying to help somebody is an activity. When you do this, slowly, you lose that complete selfishness. And then the mind, which was in Tamogun, becomes Sattva. Only from Sattva, say the Sankhya philosophers, can one understand the Purusha. When you understand the Purusha, you are even beyond Sattva. There is no guna there. It's triguna theetha. Right? But one has to go to Sattva before you. You can't say, I have Tamo guna, I want to break and become guna theetha. This is not possible according to Sankhya. You have to go through, turn the mind into Sattva. Then from there take the leap. Because it's only when the mind reaches Sattva that it becomes quiet and calm and tranquil. Now the danger is, there are some people who are so lethargic and lazy, they think they are already in Sattva guna. The tranquility of Sattva is different from the laziness of Tamogun. These are two things. So when somebody is in Tamogun, they have to be woken up through Rajas. And then comes Sattva. They are not the same. They are two different things. It's like saying, I like to meditate. How? By lying down. After some time we are in deep sushupti. Turiya is out. So this is how one can misunderstand the Tamogun and Sattvagun. It happens to many people. I'm doing nice, beautiful meditation. Now it will be even better if I lie down and then it's gone. Now you have also asked about these three states of consciousness. They are not the gunas. The whole of Mandukya Upanishad is a discussion on the three states of consciousness, which is Jagrita, Swapna, also called Tejasa here, Sushupti, and Turiya. You keep Turiya out because nobody knows what Turiya is, but at least this everybody knows. At least we think we know. Jagrita Avastha is waking state, common to all living beings. There is nobody who doesn't know what is a waking state. I think there may be rare individuals who don't, but generally yes. Then the Tejasa, Swapna. Swapna is called Tejasa because even though our eyes are shut and we are in darkness, we see everything lit there, right? In the dream everything is lit, it doesn't need an external light, so it's called Tejasa, which means shining by itself, illumined by itself. And usually dreams are expressions of our subconscious mind, of our repressed emotions, of our thoughts about things which we cannot do in waking state. Like suppose in the waking state I wear jeans, but I can't because of various reasons. Not me. So what happened in the dream? I think I'm galvanating wearing jeans. So basically, dream is an expression of many of our unfulfilled desires in imaginary form, and the thoughts which are in my subconscious, which are there, and also sometimes experiences of our subtle mind when the body is at rest. When all these are mixed together, they become dreams. That's why sometimes it is difficult to find meaning to some dreams because they are also jumbled up. When the mind through meditation becomes quiet and calm, it's possible to get some sense out of dreams. So then they kind of fall in place. You will see a dream and you will kind of be able to figure out this must be because of this. Or before sleeping you might imagine, I want to dream of this and dream that. Possible, but it takes a lot of training to do that. I'll give you an example. Try it out. Today you are going to sleep at night, and you want to see if it is possible to come to Shilu's house in the night and see what she's up to. So while sleeping, you keep visualizing that you're going to her house, walking on the road, coming in and so on. First day it may not work, but if you keep doing it, one day you'll actually feel that you've come here and you're looking around and she's up to whatever she's up to. But next day you can tell her, hey, Shilu, were you doing that? She'll be shocked out of her wits. How did you know? But the thing is, there is another problem here, is that the brain usually forgets it in the morning. So the first thing to do is to, as soon as you wake up, write it down. Because after an hour, half an hour, it's gone.
That's a good thing.
Thank you. I don't come, okay? So, this is all mind, and this is all that you see in the dream. You can sometimes control dreams, but it requires a great deal of effort. But it's better not to control your dreams, especially if they are more pleasant than frightening. When you're frightening, then you should think how to get out. But otherwise, it's wonderful. That is one time where you can act out all your desires without anybody watching or creating problems for you. Let it be. Allow it to happen. So be it. So, that is dream state. So, waking state and dream state. Now, there is one major difference between dream state and waking state. Suppose I am M and I watch a dream, and in the dream I am not M but J or K or something like that. Okay? But when I wake up, I realize that I am M. And in the waking state, there is a continuity. When I wake up, I am still the same M. In dream state, it is not so. There is no continuity. One day you may be King Janaka, and another day you might be somebody else. Ravan or somebody. So there is no continuity. In waking state, there is a continuity. That is the difference between dream and waking.
What is daydream?
A daydream, of course. Daydream means imagination, that's all. Yeah. There is is there a difference between? Yes. When you dream, at the point when you're dreaming, exactly when you're dreaming, you're not aware that it's a dream. Right? When you're dreaming, actually, when the tiger is chasing you, you don't know it's a dream. When you wake up, then you say, oh, this was a horrible dream, and so on. Right? Somebody said, what if we wake up suddenly, rub our eyes and say, what a long dream we had in the waking state. You won't believe it now if I told you. Right? In the dream, if I came and told you in the dream, hey, you're dreaming, you'll say, shut up, let me enjoy my wine. Yeah. But when you're out, then you say, this is a dream. In the actual state, you don't realize it. So who knows? There may be some state which, when the screw is turned, you wake up from this and say that this was a long dream. Who knows? Now you won't believe it, naturally. But while you are waking and while you are dreaming and while you are deeply asleep and while you are sitting here, there is a witness to everything. So the Rishi said that witness is the real, not the states. States, because they are relatively real and absolutely not real, therefore they can change. But the witness, in waking state, now there is a witness. The same witness is there in the dream state. And the same witness is there also in deep sleep, although at that point you don't know. Right? Is there or not? Is there a witness? So that witness is a common factor. And that witness is the only reality, because these things can change. When you're dreaming, waking world is not there. When you're awake, dream world is not there. It keeps changing. So Turiya means that witness, which is there in all these three states, remaining as pure witness without being involved in any of the states. So the nearest thing they have tried to explain, it is like waking up into awareness in deep sleep. And everything is blissful. Then the Upanishad says, when that is understood, then you realize that that witness is an all-pervading thing and not simply confined to you, Brahman. And Om represents the waking, dream and deep sleep state, and also Turiya, because the Ardha Matra which comes after Om, when you say Om, it's like ringing of a bell. You see that mark of a Chandra, like a small curve and the thing on top of Om. Now that is this Bindu. So that is what is called the Ardha Matra. That means there is no sound, but there is a vibration going on. That is Turiya. Because here there are no sounds, there are no figures, there are nothing. It's just pure awareness. And when it is understood, the Upanishads say then you realize that there is no difference between anything. There is only that pure, then the world ceases to exist. And that Brahman, in its pure state, is also the one who has brought about this universe, and it will go back to it. And in the ultimate essence, there is no creation at all. Because why did he create it? When you touch that, you see there is nothing but Brahman. So what? Where is it created? From what? While we are separate, we see everything happen. Suppose all separation goes. That witness, in its pure essence, is known as Turiya. This is the link between, and therefore Om in the Mandukya Upanishad is connected with these states by saying that is the waking state, U is the dream state, Ma is the deep sleep, and then the Ardhamatra is Turiya, because no words can express it, not even Om. And Om has ended, Turiya is there. When Turiya is understood, it is understood as the essence of Om. So Om and Turiya are not different. Then there is no separate self, there is only the Supreme Being. So therefore it says, I am Atma Brahma. My Atman is Brahman. My Atman is Brahman is a modification actually. When it is understood, there is nobody to say my Atman. There is only Brahman.